Welcome back. It's another episode of the show that is not a show. It's the Weekly Pint. This is a kind of like a virtual happy hour, kind of just an excuse to hang out and have a drink before we, really dive into the week that is sprawled out in front of us. So welcome. I hope you guys all have a drink in front of you because that's, like I said, the entire point of this show is just to have a drink. So please chime in, tell me what you're drinking, For any Shift Beers fans, I will turn the phone lines on here in just a second. I always forget to do something, and I forgot. So let me turn that on. Make sure I'm turning on the right one. Yes. So if you don't know the drill by now, you can type into the chat wherever you are streaming the show, be it Facebook or YouTube, Periscope. That's not a thing anymore. I don't know if this is headed. I don't know if this goes out to Twitter or if I need to somehow reset that up. Anyways, wherever you're hearing this, you can type into the chat and we will all see it. If you want to do it the old-fashioned way and you want to call in, you can do that too, because we're cool like that. The phone number is right there on the screen for you. It's not going to stay on the screen, but 567-70-DRINK. It's really easy to remember, 567-703-7465. So you can take part in the conversation that way too. But like I said, the chat is right there in front of you, and we all see it. So, hi, guys. Let's see. My screen is really tiny again. So I have to can see it better up here. So Julia's drinking West Side's 513. John is drinking Street Side's cereal milk. And then Lee is drinking Saunders Brooder. Oh, I love Brooder. They've already shifted for the year and switched it to Schwester, I think, right? It's officially summertime. So I'm going to crack one open. This last week's episode that you guys just heard today, if you are subscribed to Cincy Brewcast, was Zane Lamprey. This is a beer that is themed towards next week's show. So that is already in the bag, as they like to say. So I'm ahead of schedule or right on schedule, depending on how you look at it. Sons of Toil. This was picked out by my 4-year-old today. It was sitting in the fridge, and I told her to pick out a beer for me, and so she picked out the Mango Milkshake New England IPA at 7.6 ABV and a bomber. I love the old school bombers. When you are small scale and kind of doing things that way, bombers still make perfect sense, and they are perfectly acceptable. Let's see. Marco, surprise, is getting to-go food and drinking a Truth. Geez, I can't even see the... why is there always something that's caught me off here, you guys? Oh, sorry about that. Let's see. They have, and I can't wait to buy it in Kentucky. Going back to the Sonder. Lee says it was still cool out, and it seemed appropriate for the brooder. Yes, I agree. This weather has been depressing, is the way I think of it. You get these little hints that spring is here and that summer is on its way, and then get the cool air kind of smacks you a little harder when it's here. Then sorry, this light's right in my face and I'm not liking it. We're gonna turn that off. All right, guys. Cheers. I have not tried this one. I did have the mango habanero on next week's show. This does not have habanero in it though, but I believe it's the same beer, just without the habanero. Oh yeah, that's good. I like the mango as a an addition to the New England IPA. Because to me, and maybe I'm crazy, and maybe this is going to be just completely off base, but mango is kind of a almost like a almost a soft fruit in itself, and so when you pair it up with a softer style like New England IPA, oh jeez. Hang on, let me adjust this cable. Let me mute my mic really quick while I do it though. Okay, let's try that. When you put mango, which to me feels like a softer fruit in a soft style like New England IPA, it just it emphasizes all of those sides of the beer's personality. So it just works really, really well in my opinion. There, how's that? So it's a great beer. If you've never been out, and we'll talk about this on the show, but if you've never been out to Sons of Toil, you're really, really, really missing out. They're one of those places that kind of flies under the radar a little bit. Maybe not as much as some other places, but maybe it's not flying under the radar. Maybe a better way to put it is that there are a lot of people who don't go out there because they feel like it's the other end of the universe, even though it's not. It is really not that far away. I mean, depending on where you live. For me, it definitely takes me an hour to get there, but distance-wise, it's not the end of the world. And the beer is fantastic, especially considering where they're located and how big that system is. It doesn't make sense that they've got the beer coming out of there that they do. So it is definitely worth the drive out there, no matter how far it is for you. Let's see. Lee says nothing screams New England like mango. I mean, I guess it depends on how you look at it. Nothing screams New England like clam chowder. But that wouldn't be good in an IPA. Maybe it would. Who knows? I'm sure somebody's done it. What was the who did the Old Bay beer? Was that Flying Dog? Maybe. That's New England. It's great. This is a great beer. I'm glad it doesn't have clams in it though. Before we go into kind of some of the stuff that I want to talk about, which if anybody has anything that they want to talk about, feel free to chime in. I do have some notes sitting in front of me. Let me pull them up and see what I'll have. Obviously, MadTree 3.0, I think is what they did call it that in the press release. It is the MadTree Alcove. We'll talk about that. I've got some stuff based on labels that have come through. Zane Lamprey, we could talk about that. I am making a trip to Columbus this weekend. I'm really excited about that. We could talk about that. Well, let's jump into the labels first, because there's definitely some stuff in there that I want to talk about. So there we go. Let me pull my little picture up here. I think I like myself over on this side. There we go. See, look, the technology is actually working tonight. This is fretboard. This is I didn't pull a lot of keg collars because some of them are just kind of boring. You know, it's stuff you've seen before, or stuff that also is out in packaging. So depending on the week, if there's not a lot of fun labels coming through, I'll pull more keg collars. Otherwise, I won't. But this one was fun just because of the fact that it is a shandy. This new trend of the summer of shandies. This is fretboards. I don't know if this is already out. I don't know if they've got it in the tap room. If anybody's been there in the last week or so, and you've seen this, let me know, because it just says shandy ale with natural flavors added. I don't know if you can see it on there. Sometimes the little chat bar blocks the text, but so I don't know what the flavors are. I don't know what the fruit is. John, do you not like shandies, or Why shandy? Why? I don't mind shandies in certain situations. I don't know, and I'm going to correct myself after I say this, but I don't know that sitting in a tap room having a couple beers is that situation where I want to drink a shandy. With that, I'm going to put an asterisk and say, or an asterisk, asterisk. I don't know. I'm going to say that there are certain taproom situations where that may not be true. If you throw me in 50 West, sitting outside, maybe with my feet stuck in the sand or something, sitting at one of the volleyball courts, maybe I'll drink a shandy then. Maybe the rooftop at Rheingeist when it's really hot outside, maybe. But I don't know that most of the time I ever have a desire in a tap room to drink a shandy. Cans, whole different ball game for me. If I'm in a canoe, if I'm sitting by the pool, if I'm camping, I could knock back a bunch of shandy. So I feel that way about it. Let's keep rolling here. Up next, this is a good one. This is definitely one I wanted to talk about. I don't always pull, again, kind of like the keg collars, I don't always pull booze labels because there's a lot of them, especially when you start talking about Kentucky. It gets weird because there's just so many labels go through. Even Ohio, we've got a winery in Silverton, Myers Wine Cellars, that makes a bunch of like cheap wine, like supermarket wine, and they also distill. And they crank out all kinds of stuff for different places, and people will use them and then sell it somewhere else. And so I don't pull all those because it's just not that exciting. This one is exciting. I don't know if you guys know OTR Stillhouse. The distillery is called Knox Joseph. They are located in OTR, and this is the project from Chris Mitchell after he left Woodburn back in the day. He got on with these guys and has been distilling and building a brewery and preparing to open someday. This is the first packaged product that I've seen come through the TTB from them. So I've also seen some updates on social media and stuff that looks like they are getting closer and closer to having an actual space. So this could be exciting. We could be seeing them come to life soon. So I'm excited about that. So I had to pull that one. This one, number one, is funny because this is not the completed artwork. There's a bunch of like animals or something on this, if I remember seeing the completed one right. But this is the new. So Urban and sorry guys. I feel like I'm always yawning on the show. It's not a show. I feel like, Urban has a line of their Midwest fruit tarts. I mean, you know the Midwest fruit tarts. This is like I think they call them rare Midwest fruit tarts. So if they get a goofy fruit or something that's really hard to get or something that's a little expensive, they'll kick these out every once in a while. I think you see them like once a quarter, maybe something like that. This one is made with Totopuri mangoes. Totopuri? I don't know. I have no idea what that is. Mango, I know. I know mangoes, but I don't know Totopuri mangoes. But it's safe to say it's probably going to be delicious because Urban Artifact. Matt Damaris says, and I returned the... I was making emojis with my hand. I guess everybody that listens to this is actually seeing it too. There's nobody that's just listening to the audio, although that may change soon. Anyways, moving on. West Side, Key Lime Goza. Kind of on that same note of shandies, there are a lot more situations where I could see pounding a whole bunch of this, especially since it's in the 16-ounce pint cans. Yeah. Give me this all summer long, especially by the pool. Again, camping, all of that. This is exactly what I want. And if you tried any of the Gozas so far from Westside, you know that they've got that that balance dialed in perfect between the base and then the fruit. And this just sounds amazing. Not to take anything away from like Key Punch or some of the other key lime, gozas around. I'm excited to see this. Julia says she's so in for this goza. Yeah, me too. What about this? This is, again, another conversation that I definitely want to have. Missing Link from Westside. If you remember back 2 years ago, or let's see, 2 years ago, my time frame on when things happen is just all messed up because of COVID. Not because of having COVID, but because of the fact that 2020 just feels like it didn't exist. So sometimes I think something was a year ago, and then when I do the math, it was actually 2 years ago. But this was 2 years ago. 2019 was the first ever Missing Link Day in Cincinnati. So 2018-ish. Yes, we'll talk about this. So 2018. Urban Artifact goes into one of the old brewery tunnels that have been sealed up forever. They swab everything and get viable brewing yeast. They take that yeast, they prop it up, and they make a beer with it. The first beer, and there's an episode of Cincy Brewcast about all of this. And actually, I can tell you what episode it was here. Hang on, let me pull up my notes. Give me just a second, and I will do a quick search here. Anyways, Missing Link. Sorry, I can't talk and type at the same time. Volume 5, Episode 12. So that was from June 3rd of 2019. So they go into this tunnel, they harvest the yeast, they prop it up, and they brew a Maibach, I think, that first year with it, just a small batch just to see kind of how the yeast did. And it was delicious, and it worked, and so they propped it up even more, sent it to a yeast lab to bank it, and for 2019, they not only made the first version of Missing Link, which was a golden ale with this yeast, they also, the city declared June 3rd, I think, Missing Link Day, and then Urban Artifact said that they want to throw a festival around that every year. Now, this was 2019 that they decided this. 2020 would have been the first real one, and it what happened. So it didn't really exist. But this looks like we might see the first life breathed into this festival. Kind of a salute to, so we have Oktoberfest. Everybody loves Oktoberfest in Cincinnati. From there, you move into Bachfest season. Everybody loves Bachfest season. From there, we move just into no season. I mean, you got summer, and everybody likes to drink beer, but there's no beer holiday around that. We need beer holidays. We need to fill the calendar with these holidays, these excuses to get together, to share big giant mugs of beer, and to salute the fact that this is Cincinnati and we are a beer town. So this Schwarzbier season, yes, there needs to be a Schwarzbier festival, though. That's the key to all of that. I mean, there has to be some kind of celebration around the thing. But so the holiday is just kind of a summer beer celebration of Cincinnati and the the history of everything we do. So this is the first brewery that I have seen kind of jump on board with this and kick it into a real thing. So this is Westside using Urban Artifacts yeast that they harvested out of a really old cellar off of an old brewing tank. Let me take a sip of beer. Hang on. All right, let's see. Julia says, I love the old cellar wall look on the top of the label. And then Marco says, yeah, I talked about it on the Brewcast. We need more reasons to celebrate. We have plenty of reasons. We need more organization to our celebrations. We need people to say, hey, on this day, we're celebrating this, and we'll all show up and do it. And I think this is a great way to do it. I think it would be just so fun to see, a bunch of breweries, bunch of different styles, all playing around with this one yeast and kind of their interpretation of it, or maybe not, super historical, but kind of their historical twist, maybe. I don't know. It's fun. I like it. I like it a lot. Going back to the Gozas, pineapple Goza. Again, not to take anything away from Urban Artifacts' latest pinery, their pineapple Goza, which if you haven't tried is fantastic. I've been drinking a bunch of that lately. I'm all about this. I mean, just listen. Cloudy yellow with a fluffy white head. Our German-style Goza uses sea salt and coriander to make a truly unique beer. The base beer lends aromatics of bread dough, lemon, and a hint of lactic acid, while the addition of pineapple gives it a huge notes of pineapple and tropical fruit and enhances the clean, firm sourness of the beer. It finishes with a perfectly balanced hit of salinity to prime you for the next drink. How does that not sound delicious? Give me that all summer long. I just want the sun just baking my neck, that feeling where the next day it's going to hurt, and then just a big, giant, Yeti full of pineapple Goza just pouring down my face. Oh, yes, I am so ready for this. I mean, you might have to pick cicadas out of it, but I don't even care at this point. I just want summertime, and I want summer beers, and this is exactly what that is. That's it. That's it for the labels. For now, there are always more rolling through. Julia says, sounds like you're going to be West Siding it all summer. I have been drinking a lot of West Side beer lately. They're cranking out so many cans. And, to be fair, I'm not going out and buying, 6 packs of all of them. I'm getting a lot of singles too. But man, they have had some really, 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 really great stuff. The English IPA, I fell absolutely in love with that beer. So good. Dennis says, I miss Listerman's Stark Beer Fest. Yeah, so that's a really good point too. So Listerman at one time did a lot of parties. They took the big parking lot that's next to the brewery there, and put up a big tent, and did several days at a time. They would do multiple days of these parties where all of the breweries in town, because you could do that back then, would show up and put beer on tap and roll through different tappings. And they did Oktoberfest, and they did a Volksfest and Stark Beer Fest, all of that. It was really, really cool and a really fun time in Cincinnati beer. I love everything that's happening in Cincinnati right now. I would not trade that for anything. But I think back to those days of kind of the beer scene at the time, and man, it was fun. And you can't recreate it now. Like, even if Listerman decided tomorrow, like, oh, you know what, we're gonna bring Stark Beer Fest back, or our Oktoberfest celebration back, or Volksfest, whatever it would be. It wouldn't look the same. It wouldn't be the same. You would show up. You're like, man, this isn't the same thing. This isn't what I was talking about. Because you can't do it again. Marco says, I think going back to West Side, I brought a 6-pack of their double. I would check, but I drank them all. Julia says the English IPA is awesome. Still need to try the Kitchen Sink IPA. Didn't have time for a pint when I ran in to grab the 513. I have not had either the 513 or the Kitchen Sink IPA. I would love to try them both. John said I hadn't had West Side beers in years, but got the Citra Pale Ale, and it was great. Julia says I miss Run Like Hell, and Listerman's Run Like Hell Red. See, there's little things like that I forget about, and then somebody mentions it, and you immediately get these flashbacks to a different time in craft beer. It's fun. Those memories are just they're good to remember back to. It would be fun to see Listerman kind of play with that a little bit And I guess they do from time to time, but not as much as I'd like to see. And I get it, people want what they want, and it's a very small majority of people that would get a kick out of Run Like Hell Red right now. But I'd like to see it. So we could talk about the we could talk about Zane Lamprey. I'm really excited that I finally got that episode up and that it happened, because I've been trying to do that for a very long time. We could talk about my Columbus trip this weekend. I don't really know all the places that I'm going yet. I have a group of friends, I guess some other bloggers from around town. All right, I think I'm live. Somebody type into the chat if you can actually hear me. Why is this like this? I bet it's my kids upstairs, or my kid. Oh, and then my cell phones. Oh, geez, guys. Oh. All right. I don't know where I cut off. I'm sorry. I'm going to guess that I can hear thumping around, so I'm guessing that my kid is throwing a fit over some kind of TV show or something. I'm sorry, guys. It would figure that right as everything's working, something else has to go wrong. It's my internet, which I'm plugged in directly in. Like, it's not like Wi-Fi or something like that. It was an actual internet thing. I don't know where we cut off, because by the time I saw, there's like a little tiny in the very corner of this screen that's like a little box. And if it's green, I'm good. And if it's red, I'm not. Well, it was red. Maybe it's Zane. Yeah, maybe Zane is hacking in. Wants me to go back and talk more about him. Let's talk about Madry, because this alcove is fun. So, well, on one hand, there is a little sliver of disappointment, and let me explain. And I'm going to write a big post about all this. I probably won't have it done for tomorrow like I wanted to, but I will write a post about this. Maybe tomorrow, by the time like you're going to work, I'll have it done. So there have been talks, I think. I'm speculating just based on some kind of hints that have been tossed my way. Excuse me. That Madry had been looking to do some kind of concept like this for a while. I think, and I could be completely wrong, but I think that the plan, at least at one point, was to do all of this at 1.0. And maybe it looked differently then, maybe it was kind of a different idea, but 1.0 as a second tap room, maybe with a food thing that they were operating. I don't know. That's not happening, which is not the end of the world, because this is a really, really, really cool space that they were able to get in on. This is it's a tap room, sort of. It is a brew pub, sort of, except they're not brewing there. It's a tap room restaurant that is all Madry, and I mean that in that. So they've spent the last couple years really focusing in and figuring out who they are as a brand. And this takes that idea and just puts it, front and center. This is who they are. The environmental side of it, the giving back side of it, the giving a fuck, as they like to say, which is, in their business at this point. This is it, front and center, in your face. They are moving into the old Weilert's beer garden space. Well, the beer hall, I guess, technically. The beer garden was out back, but that was the Weilert's Cafe, I guess. It was a bar back in the late 1800s, that had the biggest beer garden in Cincinnati. It took up an entire city block. The Cincinnati Symphony Orchestra started there. I've heard that on the balcony of the back of the building that overlooked the beer garden was where they sat and came up with the idea for the World Series. I mean, like, this space is historical. It has been vacant for a really long time and just dying, and Madry's moving in, and I think that is just absolutely brilliant and a really, really great way to save a building that is part of Cincinnati's beer history. Absolutely. So we'll talk about the food. They are loading the place up with lots of plants, and the outdoors kind of moved in, plus the patio space, which is one of the few patios like that in downtown Cincinnati. It's a beautiful patio. They're going to have lots more, plants and trees and little greenhouses growing stuff for cocktails. And I mean, just really, really, really brilliantly done and very, very Madry. So I'm really excited to see that. The food, so it is going to be a restaurant, everything from lunch and dinner, like full kind of meals, to like kind of snacky kind of bar food, from what I understand. Stephen Williams, he has Bouquet and Spoon. I don't know either of those restaurants. They're in Northern Kentucky, I think. But I'm hearing really, really great things, and I'm pumped about it. They are hoping to have it open in the fall. You know how that goes. You never really know. They're calling it a nook of nature within the city. I'm absolutely pumped that they are doing this. It's John says that Bouquet is amazing, finer dining. Perfect. Madtree 2.0 is great, and it is a great tap room and a wonderful brewery, but this provides that other type of atmosphere that I think that they need for people that love who they are and what they're doing, but just want to kind of sit down and have a quiet evening. Sometimes 2.0 is not quiet. This is very similar to what I hope eventually that we will be able to see out of Rheingeist too, as they start kind of expanding as they get older. And go back and listen to that last episode I did at Rheingeist with Chris Shields. We talked about this a lot. Maybe some kind of low-key tap room tacked onto a production facility or something, I think would be really great for them, because it provides that other personality to a brand that doesn't have it right now. So I'm excited. I think this is gonna be great for Madry. Like I said, I will have a full post about it here in the next day or so. Because it just depends on when I get a chance to finish it. I've been kind of writing my thoughts down and getting it all kind of figured out, but getting it actually constructed is a whole other thing. John says that Spoon just opened in Main Strasse, sandwiches, etc. Steven is a great chef. They scored. Yeah, I'm pumped to see what it's all about. It is I say this a lot, but it is a good time to be a beer drinker in Cincinnati. That is one thing that I know for sure. So yeah, that's what's happening this week. It's been an exciting week. I'm sure next week's show I will have plenty to say about my Columbus adventures. Hopefully I'll have some fun video content around that too. I keep promising videos that I'm just sitting on a big pile of footage that needs edited into a video. Maybe I'll figure out some kind of ways to free up some time in the future. We'll see. Can't say more than that, but so yeah, we have this coming week. Like I said, we have Sons of Toil. The week after that, we are at Common Beer Company, and then I've got Dysfunctional Delights Mead show coming up. We've got some really fun shows, so stay tuned for that. Prost this week is, I think I've got that done. Let me look I can't pull it up from here to see what it is. And I can't remember. I have a terrible memory. Butthead's Hammer last week. And then, hell, I can't remember. I have no clue what I drank for this week. It all blends together, you guys. Cut me some slack. If there's anything else, we can jump on it real quick, or we will wrap things up. I will go manage my family that is destroying the mainframe of everything. They're killing the internet. I don't know how you kill the internet. Maybe they're actually burning the house down above me. I always joke about my kids burning the house down. Maybe they've finally done it. All right. We'll wrap it up, guys. Thank you very much. If you don't subscribe to Cincy Brewcast, do that, because this week's show is a really fun one. And like I said, there's some really great ones coming up. Prost on YouTube. Just go to youtube.com/gnarlygnome. Not the gnarly gnome, just gnarly gnome. And you'll get all of that content. Or actually, before I go back upstairs, I will finally set it up. Just go to thegnarlygnome.com/YouTube, but just wait like an hour before you try to go to that, because it won't do anything right now. It'll just give you an error. But I will set it up as soon as we get off the live stream, because that's easier to remember. And if you like this show, this not a show, and my other stuff, and the website and all of that, the easiest way for you to help that keep growing and to support that is to go to thegnarlygnome.com/support. And thank you to all of you who already do that. I know there are quite a few of you on here. I appreciate that immensely. I'm about to put in a fun order of some new swag stuff. Not hats and shirts, some other fun things. I might be doing. I'm definitely doing at least one thing, possibly two, maybe three. 3 is very unlikely. I don't know if I can convince the wife to drop that kind of money, but definitely 2, or definitely 1, maybe 2. We will see. Yeah, you can always buy the merch. We have sweet hats. This is the one with the gnome. My favorite one right now, I actually don't have. Let me pull it up real quick so you guys can see it. You can get straight to the store by just going to thegnarlygnome.com/shop, and it'll take you right to what I call the gnome shop. And my current favorite hat. Oh, actually, maybe I haven't put it on. Oh, yeah, it's on there. It's just not with the other hats for some reason. Is this one right now, the Be Gnarly Distressed hat. I'm going to be getting myself one of those soon. And then on the back of it's the little gnome. So that one's pretty cool. There's also a distressed version of the Cincy Brewcast hat, which I also don't have. There's a lot of things I don't have. I like that one, in gray. So there's some good stuff on there. Sweatshirts, hats, T-shirts, bunch of stuff. I even have at least I thought I did. No, maybe I haven't put. There's a bunch of stuff that I have created that I haven't dropped in here yet. Because, when the first time you get a, shirt or hat or something printed, it does cost more money. And I've got these prices knocked down pretty low for a lot of things. So it costs me money when people order. I think the first one. Oh, there's a kid's shirt. You can get your kids a I Am Gnarly shirt in all kinds of different colors. I like those too. I actually really like it in some of these other colors, like the blue. Just for some reason, looks really good to me. I don't like the red, but so there's some good stuff on there. So yeah, that is another option to support. But whatever you do, I appreciate it, even if all you can do is just share it with a friend, because that helps it grow also. So tell somebody you know about the website and all of that stuff, because it enables it to keep going. So thank you very much, and stay tuned for a bunch of new. I threw my phone on the ground because it was making noises when the internet got out. Stay tuned for lots of fun stuff because I really, really, really am excited about creating video right now, and I have just this huge list of ideas that I really want to get to. So hopefully I'll be able to do that. Everybody have a good week, and drink some good beer this week. Thank you very much. I'll see you guys later.